In this video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 best budget small forwards right now in NBA 2K23 My Team. So if you guys are wanting to know who are the best budget small forwards in the game, in my opinion, these are going to be the top 5 for under 30,000 MT, because that's what I do consider to be a budget card. But I would say a majority of these cards in the top 5 are only going to be about 15, 10, 20, 25k, somewhere in the price range. Yeah, let's just get right into the top 5 best budget small forwards in my team. So starting off here at the number 5 spot is going to be the Galaxy Opal Big Z, and you guys most likely know why he's such a good small forward, and it really just comes down to his size, and he's about 25,000 MT, sometimes a little bit cheaper, sometimes a little bit more expensive, but he's going to be a 7'3" small forward, 7'6" wingspan. So to have that height and wingspan and player model at the small forward position can be super helpful and super valuable for a lot of teams. Now, his stats are decent, like he's got a 94 3 ball, 96 mid-range, 95 standing dunk, like his defense is good, but that's not the thing about Big Z. It's not really his stats or his badges or his jump shot, even though those are half decent. It's just mainly due to his size and his player model at the small forward position, because you're able to run so many different lineups on a budget team with Big Z at small forward. If you want to run a smaller shooting guard, that's perfectly fine, because Big Z can basically be your you can basically run a smaller shooting guard because you have Big Z on your lineup, who's going to be a taller card. Or if you want to run a smaller power forward, like maybe you want to put a, I don't know, like a Jason Tatum at power forward for some reason, right? And then you have Big Z at small forward. You can have Big Z playing your, power forward position and Tatum playing your small forward spot. So it just allows so many more possibilities for lineups. And I think having that, ability to run different lineups on the team and just have a really tall squad with Big Z in the lineup, I do think makes them a top 5 budget small forward. Now going over to the number 4 spot is going to be the Dark Matter Jonathan Isaac. And this is just purely because of his defense and his size at the small forward position, and he's actually super cheap. Like, he's only 13 to 15k, somewhere in that price range. Like, we can see this one right here for actually 12,000 MT, which is a great price and a great pickup for Jonathan Isaac. Gonna be a 6'11" small forward, right? He's got a good wingspan. His stats are very well rounded: 95 3 ball, 90 mid-range, 90 standing dunk, 95 driving dunk. But the main thing about Jonathan Isaac is going to be the defense, with a 98 block, 97 steal, 97 perimeter, 97 interior defense. So amazing stats across the board. He's also fairly quick and athletic. And then you also take a look at his defensive tendencies, and they're going to be elite as well, all at a 97 for the pass interception, on-ball steal, contest shot, and block shot. So a really good defender in Jonathan Isaac. And then he's also got 35 Hoff badges. And I know a lot of people at their small forward position want a lockdown card or want a card that can just play really good defense. And I feel like you can't get much better than Jonathan Isaac for under 15k. So such good value and a such good price for Jonathan Isaac, and I do think he's going to be the 4th best budget small forward. Now coming in at the number 3 spot, I do think is actually going to be maybe not my favorite person in real life, and I don't think he's a great guy, but I still think you got to include Karl Malone, just because of how good he actually is at the small forward position and just how well rounded he is. Like I said, don't like Karl Malone as a person, as a human, but I don't like the things he did. But still, I gotta say that he is a good small forward. They made him really good. So if you want a top tier small forward for a budget price tag, Karl Malone is a really good choice. Now, some honorable mentions that aren't in this top 5 in case you don't want to use Karl Malone. I think Jarvis Walker, he's another really good small forward, very similar to a Karl Malone, or Josh Smith from the Gloria set. Just going to give you 2 other very similar options to Karl Malone that I think are just as good, maybe a little bit worse, and are around the same price tag. So if you don't want to use Karl Malone, because of some reasons, then obviously those are great options, Jarvis Walker and Josh Smith. But talking about Karl Malone, like I said, he still is a really good small forward. He's 6'9" at the small forward position, and his stats are super well rounded: 95 3 ball, 98 mid-range, 98 standing dunk, 98 driving dunk. Like, that's the thing about this card. He is so well rounded. He's an elite level defender: 98 block, 92 steal, 96 perimeter, 98 interior defense. He's super good at rebounding. He's really quick and athletic. He's also got, I believe, really good defensive tendencies. Let me just quickly check once again. Yeah, he's got great defensive tendencies, all out of 98s. And then he's also got 35 Hoff badges and tons for defense. So he's got a great jump shot, pretty good dribble 6 on Karl Malone, and can do everything at the small forward position. So if we're talking about budget small forwards, I do think Karl Malone is one of the best in the game. I do have him at the number 3 spot. Now, I will say at number 2, I think it's a close debate between 2 and 1, and there's some other cards I wanted to talk about here in a second. But at the number 2 spot, I do think is going to be Tim Thomas. Now, if you don't want to include Tim Thomas in the top 5 because he's more of a shooting guard, that's perfectly fine. I just included him because he can play small forward and he's 6'10", right? He's 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan, so he's taller than a Karl Malone, and he's taller than most other small forwards, you know, for a budget price tag, and he's still going to be a really good offensive 2 guard. I mean, he has a great jump shot. He's got that, you know, LaMelo Ball base, Trey upper on very quick timing. He's super quick with the ball in his hands. He's got the Steve Francis size up, the Trey escape, Dame behind the, or Trey, I think it's Trey behind the back. So he's a really good offensive small forward in the game. So if you're looking for a really good 3-hunting small forward and a card that can score, you know, and still have decent size for small forward, I think Tim Thomas is your go-to option. But also just going to throw another honorable mention here. Once again, a card that probably plays more of like a shooting guard role, but I think AK for a budget price tag is also another great option. So I'm trying to give you guys the top 5, but then also just some other choices in there as well, like an AK-47, a Jarris Walker, and a Josh Smith as well. But then coming in at the number 1 spot, I really don't think there's any card that comes close in my opinion when we're talking about a traditional small forward, and that's going to be Dark Matter KG. He does everything you'd want from a small forward. You know, typically he plays great defense, he's got amazing size, and he's only about like 25 to 30k, so maybe a little bit more on the expensive side when we're talking about budget cards, but a really good price tag for a 6'11" small forward. His stats across the board are amazing. His defense is top tier, 98 block, 95 steal, 95 perimeter, 98 interior defense. He can rebound really well. He's got such a good player model. Since he's more of like normally a power forward or a center card, having that at small forward is going to be super helpful for getting rebounds and paint stops, because he's going to act like another power forward in game with his speed and his athleticism and his size. He's also got 30 Hall of Fame badges and I believe a ton on defense. So yeah, all around Kevin Garnett, just a beast at small forward, and actually does have a great jump shot with the LaMelo Ball base, KG upper on very quick timing. Is still a pretty knockdown jump shot, and then I believe he's got the Chris Paul, is it the Chris Paul size up? Oh no, it's the De'Aaron Fox size up and the Chris Paul escape. So he's still got very decent dribble sigs where he can move a little bit. But just to go over the top 5 once again, coming in at the number 5 spot is going to be Big Z. At the number 4 spot is going to be Jonathan Isaac. At number 3 is going to be Karl Malone. And then at number 2 is going to be Tim Thomas, a really good offensive small forward. And then like I said, at the number 1 spot is going to be Kevin Garnett from the out of position set. But now some other options, like I said, some honorable mentions and just some cards you guys can replace some of the top 5 cards with. Guys like AK-47, such a good defender, 6'9", really good defensive small forward. You also got Jarris Walker, a really good 2-way small forward with a pretty good jump shot and can slash at the basket really well. And then you also got Josh Smith, just a beast all around. But in my opinion, guys, like I said, those are going to be my top 5 best budget small forwards. But let me know in the comment section down below any other small forwards that are for a budget price tag that you guys think could be in this top 5. Let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.